For 58 years, a folded page of CBS script paper sat inside a woman's kitchen Bible in Astoria, Queens, and she never told a soul how she got it. It didn't hold money. It held 3 minutes of comedy that no television audience in America was ever allowed to hear. And the man who performed those 3 minutes performed them for exactly one person. A 17-year-old CBS page named Conchetta Ferraro, standing in an empty corridor behind the most famous stage in the country. This is the story of the night before George Carlin became George Carlin. Sunday, October 1966, Broadway and 53rd Street, the Ed Sullivan Theater, where every week the whole country turned on one channel and waited to be told what was funny, what was safe, what was allowed. Inside, a young comedian in a narrow tie and a borrowed calm was about to have the best night of his career so far, and hate every second of it. He didn't know it yet, neither did she, but by midnight one of them would say a single sentence the other would carry to the grave. Conchetta went by Connie because the floor manager couldn't be bothered with 3 syllables. She was 17, 5 weeks into the job, from a 2-family house in Astoria where her father had fixed city buses for 22 years, until the transit cuts that spring left him fixing neighbors' radios for cash in the garage. Her paycheck from CBS went straight into the coffee can on top of the refrigerator. She wanted to teach 4th grade someday. She told no one at the theater any of this. At CBS, you smiled. You said, "Right this way." You made everything look easy and clean and paid for. Around 6, she watched a standards and practices man in a gray suit hand a comedian a marked-up script. She could see the red pencil from 10 feet away. Whole lines crossed out. One word circled twice. The comedian nodded at all of it. Sure, no problem." "You're the weatherman guy?" she asked when the gray suit left. "Not tonight," he said, folding the script into his jacket. "Tonight I'm the safe guy." He smiled when he said it, but the smile didn't reach anywhere. Ed Sullivan himself found him 20 minutes before air. Connie was close enough to hear because part of her job was to be invisible, and invisible people hear everything. "Carlin," Sullivan didn't offer a hand. "Good spot tonight, big audience, clean. You understand me. This is a family show. Sunday, grandmother's watching." "Understood, Mr. Sullivan. I mean it. One word out of line and I don't have you back. Ever." Then, softer, almost human, "I've seen you. You're good. Don't be smart about it." And then Sullivan was gone, and Carlin stood in the corridor with his approved 3 minutes and his forbidden ones, breathing like a man about to go underwater. He went out and he killed. That was the terrible part. Connie watched the safe George Carlin do the safe bits, the airline announcements, the tidy wordplay. Nothing with an edge, nothing with a wound. The grandmothers laughed. Sullivan gave one short nod, the highest honor the man handed out. Carlin came off, soaked in sweat, and smiling the smile that didn't reach. Connie found him at the end of the corridor, where it was empty, and the orchestra came through the wall like weather in another country. He was leaning against the cinderblock, holding the approved script, staring at it like it had lied to him. "You okay, Mr. Carlin?" "Best set of my life," he said. Coast to coast, Ed Sullivan nodded at me. He laughed, one dry note. "I should call my mother." Then why do you look like that? He turned the script so she could see it. The red pencil, the crossed-out lines. You know what they took out? Not dirty stuff. The true stuff. The lines about how everybody's pretending. How we all put on the gloves and the hat and say right this way and act like nothing hurts. He looked at her white gloves. No offense. None taken, Connie said, because it was true and because it wasn't. I've got another act, in here. He tapped his chest, then his temple. And every Sunday I put him in a drawer and send out the vending machine, and everybody claps, and I want to throw up in the cab home. So Connie told him about the coffee can and her father and the word fine. Pretending pays my rent too, Mr. Carlin, but I don't think it's supposed to be the whole act. That's when it happened. Carlin looked at her the way people look at a light coming on in a house they thought was empty. Say that again, he said. It's not supposed to be the whole act. Her face went hot. I'm sorry, I don't know anything. I'm a page. No, he said, that's the whole point. He pushed off the wall, taller now, awake. You want to hear it? The 3 minutes they cut? There's no audience, Connie said. There's you. One's plenty. And then he did the thing she would fold into a Bible and keep for 58 years. He started to perform. Not the safe act, the crossed-out lines, the red-penciled truth, the bits about pretending and gloves and the little lies everybody agrees to on a Sunday so nobody has to feel anything. He did it quiet, no stage voice, just a man and a page in a cinderblock hallway. And Connie put a white glove over her mouth and laughed until her eyes ran, because it was funny, and because it was true, and because somebody had finally said the quiet part out loud where she could hear it. When he finished, he was grinning the real grin, the one that reached all the way. That's the guy, he said. That's the guy they don't want. They're going to want him, Connie said. One day the whole country's going to want him. Carlin folded the script in half. Then he tore the top page free, the page with the reddest marks, the one they'd butchered the most, and pressed it into her gloved hand. Why me? She asked. It was still warm from his pocket. Because you're the only one tonight who told me the truth, he said. Everybody else said, killed, kid. You said, keep going. He straightened his jacket, becoming the safe guy again, ready for the cab and the long climb ahead. You're going to be a hell of a teacher. I never said I wanted to teach. You didn't have to. He tapped his temple. 4th grade? 4th grade, she admitted. Tell them the truth, Carlin said. Even when there's a red pencil. Especially then. Then George Carlin, the safe guy, the man with another comedian folded up in his chest, went out into the New York cold. In Connie's glove was a page of banned comedy, signed in the corner in small, quick pen, 2 words only. Keep going, G.C. She didn't tell anyone. Who would believe a page? She put it in her Bible that night, at the Book of Ruth, and there it stayed while the world caught up. The world took 6 years. Connie married a plumber named Sal, taught 4th grade at PS 17 in Astoria for 31 years, and followed the thin comedian's name in the papers the way you follow weather in a place you used to live. She watched him let his hair grow. She watched the beard come in, the narrow tie give way to denim, the reports that he'd been thrown off stages in Las Vegas for saying the true stuff out loud. And in the summer of 1972, she read that George Carlin had been arrested at a festival in Milwaukee, handcuffed, taken away, for standing on a stage and saying words. Some of them, she realized, were the words that had been under the red pencil. The band 3 Minutes had grown into a band career. She bought the record, Class Clown. She played it low so the kids wouldn't hear. And there, in the grooves, was the guy from the hallway. The whole country was finally sitting in the audience she had once been the only member of. Her children asked why their mother laughed so hard at a comedian who cursed. She never explained. She'd just say, "He didn't used to be allowed." And she told the truth to 10-year-olds, even when the principal preferred she didn't. She never forgot who told her to. George Carlin died on June 22, 2008. 14 HBO specials, a Supreme Court case with his name inside it, the Mark Twain Prize, awarded the year he died. The safe guy was long gone. The guy from the hallway had won so completely that most people never knew there had been another one. Connie, widowed, 81, read the news in the same kitchen, under the same cabinet where the coffee can used to sit. She took the Bible down and opened it to the book of Ruth. The page was still there, folded in fourths, soft as cloth now. The red pencil faded to pink. The 2 words still legible if you knew where to look. "Keep going, GC." She was the only person left alive who knew that George Carlin, on the best safe night of his early career, had walked away from the applause to perform his forbidden 3 minutes for a frightened 17-year-old in white gloves. Because she had told him the truth, and he needed to know the real act could still make somebody laugh before he bet the rest of his life on it. Her granddaughter found the page after the funeral and asked what it was. "That," Connie said, "is the night a famous man decided to stop pretending. I just happened to be standing there. Everybody's got a drawer, honey. A guy they keep folded up because somebody drew a red line through him. The trick is knowing he's in there and letting him out before it's too late." She kept the page in the book of Ruth until the day she died. Nobody ever put it behind glass. Some truths you don't frame. You just keep them where they fall open. If this story stayed with you, take a moment to subscribe and leave a like. It helps keep these forgotten moments alive. And tell us in the comments, has a comedian or performer ever said the one true thing everybody was thinking, but no one dared say out loud? What was it? And where were you when you heard it?